Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. Thank you so much for joining us on this Giving Tuesday. Hopefully you're ready to get out there and start giving donation-wise, this kind of thing. So for our First Alert 6 Scam School today, we are discussing this topic with Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau, how not to get scammed when you're trying to just give funds or give your time or give what je ne sais quoi, right? So we're going to ask Josh to join us now live to talk a little bit about what we mean when we talk about giving scams. I never thought I'd be saying that. Josh.
Nice to see you, Jacqueline. And I appreciate that you led with there are multiple ways to give, right? It's not just monetary donations. Charities need all sorts of volunteer efforts. Sometimes it's giving resources versus monetary donations. There are a lot of ways to get involved this holiday season.
That's wonderful. And what are some tips? I mean, in knowing that the charity that you're giving to is actually the charity that you want to give to, right? Because I mean, oftentimes we see a link and maybe we're rushed during a work day and we just want to give somebody $20. You want to really make sure that that $20 is going where you want it to go.
Yeah, first and foremost, beware of the emotional hijack. Scammers exploit Giving Tuesday, the month of December, natural disasters, tragedies, really anything through urgent and emotional appeals. And legitimate charities are still going to be there tomorrow. So if they tell you that you need to act now, otherwise something terrible is going to happen to somebody else, that's usually a cause to tread carefully with that offer. And it's always important to take the time to research rather than to donate impulsively, especially to things like unsolicited requests, which is how the vast majority of the scams that we monitor originate.
Yes, and I like that. So do your research. And you have, of course, it all laid out for us on bbb.org. So I'm going to head over there real quick, Josh. We can take a look at this website here. So charity and donor resources, you kind of have this all laid out laid out for us, excuse me. So you can visit give.org to view charity reports. What is a charity report? So if we click in here and put something in there, what are we going to see?
Good question. You will get what we refer to as like the 3-minute charity check. So give.org will let you know how each charity meets or doesn't meet BBB's 20 standards for charitable accountability. So this is like checking reviews before buying, but for your generosity, right? So presumably you'd want to know if an organization has like a board of directors or what percentage of their funding goes to marketing versus actual direct support to those impacted. You'd want to know how long they've been around, whether they've proven to be transparent in the past. All of these things are really useful to know before you try to assume, right, that every charity is going to be able to provide money to an impacted party. This is an entire career for people, right? People don't usually just stumble into being, a philanthropist or providing charity. It actually requires some work and some infrastructure to get that money or those resources to the impacted area.
Yeah, that's awful. I never thought of it as it's like a full-time job, So this is something that we need to keep in mind. So, if scammers didn't ding you the first time, they're going to try to ding you that second time. So again, we've just got to keep ahead of these tricks of the trade, as it were. So that's why we're discussing this for our First Alert 6 Scam School on Tuesdays specifically, because this never goes out of style, unfortunately. But I did want to ask, so tell us a little bit about additional smart donation practices. So you're saying do your research is always a good one. Make sure the charity exists, right? So I've seen some really, really fancy websites personally where, it says give here, click here, and maybe you're going to click there, you're scrolling through Instagram or something. Don't do it necessarily, right? I mean, again, this is the HTTPS. Is this right?
It is. And sadly, a lot of these links, you just really have no way of knowing, especially on mobile, where it is that you're going to go. Right? So all of us are probably inundated today and throughout the month of December with links to donate either in a text message or an email. And even if they look official, it is always, especially in 2025, it is best practice to go directly to the charity's website by actually keying in the URL yourself. I know that sounds like it's going to take more time because it will. But unfortunately, that is the only way for you to enact ownership of the experience that you're having online. Just like we would caution with people, who are just before you and I got on the phone, on the call, Jacqueline, I got a phone call from a number based out of Texas. I was not expecting that phone call, so I let that go to voicemail. I know that if that is an urgent message, that person will leave a voicemail and I can call them back and essentially own that conversation. but you really have no idea where these links are going to send you or these phone calls that you're receiving, if they are actually local or not. So usually it's best to initiate the conversation or the charitable donation yourself.
Yeah, that's some great tips there as usual. Anything else you want our viewers to know for Scam School this afternoon?
Yeah, I would say that the emotional appeal is going to be frequent for a lot of these entities because there's a lot of fantastic charities out there that are doing real impactful work. I want to encourage people to not just stop there, right? Just because there's a great emotional appeal does not mean that this is a full functioning charity or a charity that is even real to begin with. It's never been easier in all of human history to create fake stories out of thin air. And none of us want to be the first client, first customer, first donor for a charity. We don't have to be, but it also requires a little bit more work on our end to ensure that this charity has been around for a period of time, that they do have infrastructure and they do have the ability to actually carry through on their mission.
Yeah, that this is in fact legitimate business. So very important words of wisdom there, Josh, as usual. Thank you so much for joining us today, and stay warm out there if you're headed outside anytime soon, especially Thursday.
Thank you, Jack. I'll buckle up.
Yeah, bundle up. All right, Josh, have a good rest of your day. Okay, so I'm going to head over to our website. That's firstalert6.com. And we were just hearing from Josh Planos with some tips for Giving Tuesday today. If you want to give financially, if you want to give your time or anything else, what the do's and don'ts of Giving Tuesday are to make sure that the charity you're trying to donate to in fact does go to that charity. So here we are, firstalert6.com. We do have this breaking banner here, so let's click on this real quick here. So Nebraska's Bergen Riley named Big Ten Player and Setter of the Year. So this is our top story right now on our website. This is in Sports News Clearly. So we will leave all the heavy lifting to our sports director, Clayton Collier. In the meantime, though, we can use that as our firstalert6.com web extra if you'd like to learn more about that. Now, we do want to click on our weather because we do have that weather tab up there. So it's First Alert 6 weather day for coldest temperatures of the season on Thursday. As a side note, this is why we did cancel our Stuff the Truck food and toy drive. We are rescheduling that, so I will let you know as soon as we know when that date has been rescheduled and where to go, etc. So you can see today a first alert day on Thursday. Temperatures anticipated to drop below zero in the morning, and then widespread wind chills -10 to -20 degrees. Okay, so do not go outside if you don't have to. If you don't have to expose yourself to that cold temperatures that we're anticipating, just might not be worth doing it. So let's take a live look outside today. Not nearly as chilly out there as what we're anticipating, but here's a live look from our Blackstone camera. You can see the snow-topped buildings out there. So yeah, not a bad day so far, but let's find out a little bit more what we have in store today. So Jarrett Lansford does tell us a few pockets of fog early today, otherwise partly cloudy out there. So that definitely tracks with this live look over Blackstone. Then as we take a live look from our First National Bank camera at the Kiewit Luminarium over the Missouri River there. Yeah, so just a light blanketing of snow. You can kind of still see the wooded area to the left there and some of the grasses and some of the trees are looking like twigs now, which I guess is just part of how winter goes, right? So tonight mostly cloudy, a low of 25 in the evening. Temperature steady near 30 degrees most of the night, so not bad. Then as we take a look into Wednesday, let's take a live look from our Children's Nebraska cam here. Traffic flowing smoothly out there, and it doesn't look like any snow's on the road, so that is good. Now, Wednesday, mostly cloudy and breezy with a few light snow showers in the morning, mainly south of the metro. A high is going to be 33 in the morning, and then it's going to slowly fall through the day, okay? So those wind gusts are heading up to about 30 miles per hour, and then Thursday, again, that's our First Alert 6 weather morning. So partly cloudy and cold out there, a morning temperature of -4 degrees with wind chills to the -10 to -20 degree mark, okay? So it's going to be cold starting out, and then you add the wind, and it's just going to be plenty miserable out there. So if you don't have to do any errands on Thursday, probably your best idea. So the high is going to be 20 degrees, but again, that feels like temperature is what it's all about here in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, in the meantime, just want to say thank you so much for joining us here at the Alert Center. We will have all the latest stories that we're working on available for you with our Dave Zofolinsky at 3 p.m. So we'll see you then.